Hello, good evening and welcome to the Competitive Edges Daily Current Affairs series. Today is 24th July 2026 evening. We are here to help aspirants of UPSC, SSC, State Public Service Commissions like APPSC, Junior College Lecturers, Degree College Lecturers, Police SI, RBI, Bank PO exams, Railways, Defence and CTET. Let's dive straight into the news. Moving on to news related to state, Andhra Pradesh. Decline in pension beneficiaries in AP. A LibTech report revealed that the number of sanctioned pensions in AP dropped by 3 lakh over 2 years, falling from 65.18 lakh in July 2024 to 62.20 lakh in July 2026. Key facts. Total decline of 4.6% in pension beneficiaries over a 2-year period. Sanctioned pensions fell from 65.18 lakh in July 2024 to 62.20 lakh in July 2026. No fresh pensions under regular categories have been sanctioned since January 2024. Report published by LibTech India highlights gaps in Social Security disbursal. Deployment of Kumki elephants in Parvathipuram. Andhra Pradesh Deputy Chief Minister Shri K. Pawan Kalyan flagged off to trained Kumki elephants to tackle human-elephant conflict in the Guchimi elephant camp. Key facts. Trained Kumki elephants named Jayant and Abhimanyu deployed to the Guchimi elephant camp in Parvathipuram district. Flagged off by Deputy Chief Minister Shri K. Pawan Kalyan. Aims to drive wild elephant herds back into forests and protect human lives and crops. Railway infrastructure development in Andhra Pradesh. Union Railway Minister Shri Ashwini Vaishnav informed the Rajya Sabha that the central government has prioritized railway infrastructure development in Andhra Pradesh. Key facts. Annual budget allocation increased over 11 times for FY 2026-27 compared to 2009-14 figures. Allocation stands at 10,134 crore rupees for FY 2026-27. Average annual allocation during 2009-14 was 886 crore rupees. Information presented in the Rajya Sabha by Railway Minister Shri Ashwini Vaishnav. Telugu Mahotsavam at Undavalli Caves. The Andhra Pradesh government announced a two-day festival named Telugu Mahotsavam to preserve the Telugu language and cultural heritage. Key facts, dates, July 25th and 26th. Venue, Undavalli Caves, Andhra Pradesh. Objective, to promote and preserve the richness of the Telugu language. Static GK, Undavalli Caves are monolithic rock-cut architecture located near Amravati in Andhra Pradesh, dating back to the 4th to 5th century AD. Ballari to Guntakal Rail Expansion Project approved. The Union Cabinet approved the Ballari to Guntakal Rail Expansion Project spanning Karnataka and Andhra Pradesh to enhance railway network capacity. Background. The project aims to decongest traffic and improve freight and passenger movement across the mineral-rich region connecting Karnataka and Andhra Pradesh. Key facts. Total project cost, Rs 1,264 crore. Network expansion, approximately 46 kilometers. Coverage, 3 districts across Karnataka and Andhra Pradesh. Enforcement Directorate attaches assets of Gamescraft. The Enforcement Directorate attached fresh assets worth 1,096 crore rupees belonging to Gamescraft under anti-money laundering laws. Key facts. Asset value attached 1,096 crore rupees. Entities involved: Gamescraft and Rummy Time Technologies. User base, approximately 3 crore players. Targeted states, Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, and Tamil Nadu. Amravati emerging as India's quantum gateway. Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister Shri Nara Chandrababu Naidu stated that Amravati is rapidly emerging as India's gateway to the quantum future. Key facts, focus area, building a globally competitive quantum ecosystem in Amravati. Key sectors, research, advanced computing infrastructure, quantum, hardware, supply chains, and talent development. Shri N. Chandrababu Naidu calls for police workforce reorientations. Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister Shri N. Chandrababu Naidu emphasized the need for digital literacy and artificial intelligence adoption in policing. Key facts, personality, Shri N. Chandrababu Naidu, Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh. Key focus areas, digital literacy, artificial intelligence adoption, reorientations of police workforce. Objective, to tackle emerging modern crimes and security challenges. Rooftop solar growth in APPSC region. Rooftop solar installations registered sharp growth in the Andhra Pradesh Eastern Power Distribution Company Limited region due to public awareness and government incentives. Key facts, growth is attributed to increased confidence in central and state incentive schemes. Focus is directed toward boosting renewable energy adoption at the consumer level. AP water shortage and river inflows. Andhra Pradesh Engineer-in-Chief Shri Narsimha Murthy stated that priority will be given to drinking water amid plunging inflows in Godavari and Krishna rivers. Key facts, Godavari river inflows plunged from lakhs to thousands of cusecs. A notable shortfall was recorded in Krishna river water availability. Andhra Pradesh fast-tracks minimum wage revision. The Andhra Pradesh government has decided to fast-track the revision of minimum wages for workers in organized and unorganized sectors. Background, the process is being undertaken in alignment with the Central Code on Wages 2019 to ensure social security and timely wage revisions for laborers. Key facts, the initiative covers both organized and unorganized sector workers in Andhra Pradesh. It is implemented under the provisions of the Code on Wages 2019. Constitutional references, Article 43 of the Constitution of India, Directive Principles of State Policy, directs the state to secure a living wage and decent standard of life to all workers. Rise in female labor force participation in Andhra Pradesh. Union Ministry data revealed an increase in female labor force participation and worker population ratio in Andhra Pradesh. Background, periodic labor force survey data highlights the changing employment dynamics and women empowerment initiatives across states. Key facts, female labor force participation rate in Andhra Pradesh rose to 44.8%. Worker population ratio for women increased from 41.8% in 2021 to 22 to 43.1% in 2023 to 24. Moving on to news related to national. Jantar Mantar student protests and RAF probe. The Rapid Action Force launched a probe into the conduct of its personnel during Delhi student protests, while the Civil Society Forum held talks with union ministers. Key facts, Rapid Action Force initiated an internal inquiry into personnel actions during student protests. Union Health Minister Shri J.P. Nadda and Minister of State for Prime Minister's Office Dr. Jitendra Singh represented the government during talks. Civil Society Forum stated that the resignation of the concerned official is non-negotiable. Telangana rainfall deficit. Telangana recorded a 27% rainfall deficit, prompting the Chief Secretary to urge farmers to shift to alternative crops. Key facts: Telangana recorded a significant rainfall deficit of 27%. Chief Secretary advised the farming community to adopt drought-resistant, alternative crops. Deficit threatens Kharif sowing operations across multiple districts. VDK condemns police action on NET protesters. Prajsatakmaka Chintan VDK and civil society groups staged a protest in Kalburagi condemning police action against National Eligibility Cum Entrance Test protesters in New Delhi. Key facts: protest held in Kalburagi by Prajsatakmaka Chintan VDK and student activists condemned alleged police crackdown on National Eligibility Cum Entrance Test aspirants at Jantar Mantar. Demanded a thorough judicial probe into alleged irregularities in the medical entrance examination. Karnataka High Court on care for vulnerable elderly. The Karnataka High Court directed the government to examine framing a comprehensive policy for senior citizens needing care, drawing parallels with the Juvenile Justice Act. Key facts: Karnataka High Court emphasized that vulnerable elderly require a state-led care and protection mechanism akin to children. Suggested examining a legislative framework on the lines of the Juvenile Justice Act. Focuses on senior citizens in severe need of care and protection. Constitutional references: Article 41 of the Constitution of India, right to work, to education and to public assistance in certain cases. Anti-Tobacco Forum opposes enhanced aid for FCV growers. The Anti-Tobacco Forum questioned the centre's dual policy on tobacco cultivation and opposed enhanced financial assistance for flue-cured Virginia tobacco growers. Key facts: Forum opposes enhanced financial aid for flue-cured Virginia tobacco cultivators. Criticized the union government's dual policy of discouraging tobacco use while subsidizing its cultivation. Urges authorities to promote alternative crops instead of supporting tobacco farming. Kerala drone surveillance trial at Veyur Central Prison. Kerala Home Minister Shri Ramesh Chennithala reviewed a pilot project deploying artificial intelligence-powered drone surveillance at Veyur Central Prison. Key facts: pilot project launched at Veyur Central Prison featuring artificial intelligence-powered drone surveillance. System includes thermal imaging and automated monitoring capabilities. State plans a phased rollout across other prisons in Kerala. Reviewed by Home Minister Shri Ramesh Chennithala. Demand to ban pellet guns and electric shock batons. Disability rights and medical outfits demanded an absolute ban on the use of pellet guns and electric shock batons by police forces during protests. Key facts: demanded by Progressive Medicos and Scientific Forum and National Platform for the Rights of the Disabled. Called for an independent judicial inquiry into the use of non-lethal weapons against protesters on 20th July near Parliament. Highlighted the severe physical and psychological disabilities caused by pellet gun injuries. Otter habitat identified in Mettur region. A college study from Mayiladuthurai has identified a major otter habitat in the Mettur region. Key facts: study conducted by a college in Mayiladuthurai identified a significant habitat for otter as location Mettur region. Static GK: Mettur Dam is built across the river Kaveri in Tamil Nadu. Protection of Thekkinkadu Medan, Thrissur. A Kerala High Court order regarding Thekkinkadu Medan has united civil societies and political parties to urge an appeal in the Supreme Court. Background: Thekkinkadu Medan is an iconic public space surrounding the Vadakkunnathan temple in Thrissur, Kerala. Key facts: location, Thrissur, Kerala. Landmark, Thekkinkadu Medan. Associated entity, Vadakkunnathan Temple. Demand for action on NEET paper leak. Political leaders raised demands for accountability and the resignation of the Union Education Minister over the National Eligibility cum Entrance Test paper leak. Key facts: issue, National Eligibility cum Entrance Test paper leak controversy. Key figures involved: Shri K. T. Ramarao, Shri Revant Reddy. Indiram Housing Scheme in Telangana. The Telangana Chief Minister directed officials to utilize surplus lands of government departments for the Indiram Housing Scheme. Key facts: flat size, approximately 528 square feet. Estimated construction cost, 11 lakh rupees per unit. Government subsidy, 5 lakh rupees. Beneficiary contribution, 6 lakh rupees. Pallikarnai Project Environmental Clearance Dispute. Brigade Group moved the Madras High Court against the unilateral revocation of environmental clearance for the Pallikarnai project. Key facts: petitioner, Brigade Group. Respondent authority, State Environment Impact Assessment Authority. Presiding Judge, Justice Mohammad Shafiq. Location, Pallikarnai, Tamil Nadu. Static GK, Pallikarnai wetland is a freshwater marsh in Chennai, Tamil Nadu, known for its rich biodiversity. Disabling BitChat in India. A notice regarding the disabling of BitChat in India was issued near midnight on 23rd July. Key facts: date of notice, 23rd July. Subject: disabling BitChat in India. Coal block allocation controversy in Telangana. Deputy Chief Minister Bhatti Vikramarka blamed the previous Bharat Rashtra Samiti regime for failing to secure coal blocks for public sector undertakings. Key facts: entity discussed, Singareni Collieries Company Limited. Key personality: Shri Bhatti Vikramarka. Static GK, Singareni Collieries Company Limited is a government coal mining company jointly owned by the Government of Telangana and the Government of India. Mekedatu Dam Project Interstate Talks. Chief Minister received an invitation for talks in Bengaluru to discuss interstate issues, including the proposed dam across the river Kaveri at Mekedatu. Key facts: venue for talks, Bengaluru. Key project: Mekedatu Dam. River involved, River Kaveri. Static GK, the river Kaveri originates in Talkaveri in the western Ghats of Karnataka and flows through Karnataka and Tamil Nadu before emptying into the Bay of Bengal. M1 Exchange expands footprint in Kerala for MSMEs. M1 Exchange has deepened its footprint in Kerala to enhance digital working capital access for micro, small and medium enterprises. Key facts: company, M1 Exchange. Target sector: micro, small and medium enterprises. Objective: enhancing digital working capital access and timely liquidity. India's tariffs and bilateral trade deal. The government informed the Parliament that it is studying new United States tariffs while simultaneously pursuing a bilateral trade deal. Key facts: the government incorporated inputs received from various states regarding import tariffs imposed by the United States. Discussions focus on balancing domestic manufacturing protection with export growth. Bilateral trade talks aim to resolve existing tariff disputes. Telangana Government Energy Transition Plan for Singareni Collieries Company Limited. The Telangana government directed Singareni Collieries Company Limited to prepare for a major energy transition over the next 20 years, focusing on critical minerals and electric vehicles. Background: Singareni Collieries Company Limited is a coal mining company jointly owned by the Government of Telangana and the Government of India. Key facts: Singareni Collieries Company Limited was directed to diversify into critical minerals like lithium and cobalt. Minerals targeted are essential for batteries, semiconductors, and electric vehicles. Plans include participation in international auctions in countries such as Australia and South Africa. Static GK: Singareni Collieries Company Limited headquarters is located at Kotagudam, Telangana. Public interest litigation against internet shutdown at Jantar Mantar. A legal body moved the Delhi High Court through a public interest litigation challenging the internet shutdown near Jantar Mantar in New Delhi. Key facts: the petition was filed before the Delhi High Court bench. The plea challenges the legality and proportionality of restricting internet access around the protest site at Jantar Mantar. The petitioner urged for an urgent hearing on the matter. Constitutional references: Article 19, 1A and Article 19, 1G of the Constitution of India regarding freedom of speech and expression and trade profession. Enforcement Directorate exposes cross-border narco-terror network. The Enforcement Directorate conducted major searches, seizures, and exposed a financial trail linked to a cross-border narco-terror network operating in Jammu and Kashmir and Punjab. Key facts: in a documented instance, 35 packets of heroin were retrieved. 5 packets were retained locally, while 30 packets were concealed inside a truck tire and transported to Srinagar. Operations targeted financial trails and logistics used by terror networks. Static GK: the Enforcement Directorate functions under the Department of Revenue, Ministry of Finance, Government of India. Industry seeks safeguards on foreign direct investment relaxation. Industry bodies expressed concerns and sought safeguards, fearing potential misuse of newly relaxed foreign direct investment policies. Key facts: the new foreign direct investment policy allows entities to purchase, store, and export goods directly from their own inventory. Domestic industries raised concerns regarding level playing fields and inventory management. Stakeholders urged the government to implement regulatory safeguards. Government launches Rs 3,030 crore plan for 3 chemical parks. The government launched a Rs 3,030 crore scheme to build 3 dedicated chemical parks across the country. Background: announced in the Union Budget of the 2026-27 fiscal year to boost manufacturing and infrastructure in the chemical sector. Key facts: total financial outlay is set at 3,030 crore rupees. The plan includes the establishment of 3 specialized chemical parks. Aims to enhance domestic production capacity and reduce import dependence in the chemical industry. Supreme Court bars social media posting of court proceedings. The Supreme Court of India passed an interim order barring the posting and uploading of court proceedings on social media. Key facts: the interim order was passed while hearing a plea seeking to restrain unauthorized extraction, modification, dissemination, or monetization of court recordings. Prior permission is now mandatory for utilizing court proceeding recordings. Aims to prevent out-of-context sharing and protect the integrity of judicial proceedings. Constitutional references: Article 145 of the Constitution of India empowers the Supreme Court to make rules for regulating its practice and procedure. Rajya Sabha bill to criminalize insult of Vande Mataram. A private member bill was introduced in the Rajya Sabha seeking to criminalize the insult of the national song, Vande Mataram. Background: The Prevention of Insults to National Honor Act, 1971 penalized desecration of national symbols like the national flag, constitution, and national anthem. Key facts. The bill seeks to amend the Prevention of Insults to National Honor Act, 1971. Includes Vande Mataram, alongside existing national symbols under penal provisions. Proposed punishment includes imprisonment for up to 3 years. West Bengal shifts birth and death registration authority to district magistrates. The West Bengal government shifted the authority for birth and death registrations from local bodies to administrative officials. Background: the notification invoked the West Bengal Births and Deaths Act, 1969 to streamline registration processes. Key facts: district magistrates are now officially empowered to function as district registrars of births and deaths. The move replaces decentralized local body authorities with centralized coordination at the district level. Aims to improve data accuracy and administrative efficiency. Static GK, capital of West Bengal is Kolkata, Chief Minister is SMT Mamata Banerjee. India lacks comprehensive national framework for data centers. Experts highlighted that India still lacks a single, comprehensive national framework governing energy, water, and grid implications of rapidly expanding data center facilities, drawing lessons from the United States. Key facts: core issue, absence of a unified national policy for data center resource management. Resources involved: energy, water, and power grid infrastructure. Benchmark: United States regulatory approach. TGSPDCL unveils GIS-based TGNMS for power management. The Telangana Southern Power Distribution Company Limited unveiled a geographic information system-based digital platform to enable real-time monitoring and management of power outages. Key facts: system name TGNMS, Telangana Geographic Network Management System. Technology used: GIS, Geographic Information System. Implementing agency: TGSPDCL. Goodie Bag Hyderabad startup converting garbage to groceries. Hyderabad-based startup Goodie Bag has introduced a technology-backed reverse logistics network that collects dry waste from homes and rewards citizens. Key facts: startup location: Hyderabad, Telangana. Business model: reverse logistics network for dry waste collection. Incentive: citizens receive rewards, groceries, in exchange for recyclable waste. Government seeks takedown of BChat app amid internet shutdown concerns. The Indian Cybercrime Coordination Center flagged the BChat app for enabling peer-to-peer communication during internet restrictions, posing security risks. Background: mesh messaging applications allow offline communication via Bluetooth or Wi-Fi, making censorship circumvention possible. Key facts: nodal agency, I4C, Indian Cybercrime Coordination Center. App name: BChat. Primary concern: potential misuse by anti-national elements and criminals to bypass lawful interception. Center notifies anti-paper leak law with strict penalties. The Public Examinations, Prevention of Unfair Means Act came into force to curb paper leaks and organized cheating in national-level recruitment and entrance examinations. Key facts: maximum jail term up to 10 years. Maximum fine ₹1 crore. Covered agencies: Union Public Service Commission, Staff Selection Commission, National Testing Agency, and Banking Recruitment Boards. Legal rights during detention and police arrest in India. With rising protests across the country, Legal awareness campaigns are highlighting statutory and constitutional rights mandated for citizens during police detentions. Key facts: mandatory requirement, arrest memo, grounds of arrest, and right to legal counsel. Timeline rule must be produced before a magistrate within 24 hours of arrest. Constitutional references protected under Article 20, Article 21, and Article 22 of the Constitution of India. Major administrative reshuffle in Ministry of Education. Following systemic paper leak controversies involving National Eligibility Entrance Test and University Grants Commission National Eligibility Test examinations, the Ministry of Education implemented senior-level bureaucratic reshuffles. Background: previous systemic failures led to the replacement of the then National Testing Agency Director General Shri Subodh Kumar Singh. Key facts: Union Minister in charge, Shri Dharmendra Pradhan. Exams involved: National Eligibility Entrance Test and University Grants Commission National Eligibility Test. Action taken: removal and transfer of top-tier bureaucrats and restructuring of testing oversight. Supreme Court to hear pleas on Delhi March police excesses. The Supreme Court of India agreed to hear petitions alleging police excess during a political march in Delhi on 20th July. Key facts: the march took place on 20th July in New Delhi. Protesters attempted to move towards Parliament. Security personnel used lathis and tear gas to disperse crowds. Constitutional references: Article 19 guarantees freedom of speech and expression and peaceful assembly without arms. Medical admissions and NET debate. Political parties like the Dravida Munnetra Kazhagam have renewed demands for medical admissions based strictly on Class 12 board marks instead of the National Eligibility Entrance Test. Background: the debate gained structural prominence following the tragic death of Anitha, a meritorious student from Ariyalur district who could not secure a medical seat under the National Eligibility Entrance Test regime. Key facts: controversy centers around the National Eligibility Entrance Test for medical admissions. The case of student Anitha from Ariyalur district is frequently cited in this debate. Constitutional references: education falls under the concurrent list of the Constitution of India via the 42nd Amendment Act, 1976. Augusta Westland case, Supreme Court seeks centre's response. The Supreme Court gave the Union government 3 weeks to respond to a plea filed by British national Christian Michel regarding his continued detention. Key facts: petitioner, Christian Michel, British national. Case: Augusta Westland chopper scam extradition and detention. Grounds of plea: petitioner claims to have served the maximum sentence after extradition. Cabinet approves stricter penalties for paper leaks. The Union Cabinet chaired by Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi approved a draft bill introducing stringent punishments for recruitment examination paper leaks. Key facts: meeting location, Parliament House Complex, New Delhi. Objective: to deter malpractice and cheating in public examinations with harsher penalties than existing laws. Telangana Government School introduces first robot teacher. Zilla Parishad High School in Sirkila, Telangana, deployed its first robot teacher to promote artificial intelligence learning among students. Key facts: location: Zilla Parishad High School, Sirkila, Telangana. Objective: to introduce advanced technology into government schools and encourage practical artificial intelligence interactions. Static GK: Sirkila is widely known as the textile town of Telangana. Karnataka orders cases against guest lecturers over fake PhDs. The Karnataka Collegiate Education Department ordered criminal cases against 249 individuals for submitting fake Doctor of Philosophy certificates. Key facts: number of accused, 249 guest lecturers. Recruitment cycle, 2025 to 26 recruitment process. Target institutions, government first grade colleges in Karnataka. Supreme Court restricts sharing of court proceedings on social media. The Supreme Court barred posting or uploading videos of court proceedings on social media and digital platforms without prior permission. Key facts: trigger, misuse of recorded videos of court proceedings on digital platforms. Requirement: prior judicial permission mandatory for publishing court proceedings. Constitutional references: relates to the inherent powers of the Supreme Court of India under Article 142 to do complete justice. Lord Jagannath Bahuda Yatra. Devotees gathered in large numbers in Puri to pull the chariots back to the Jagannath temple during the Bahuda Yatra. Background: Bahuda Yatra marks the return journey of Lord Jagannath, Lord Balbhadra and Devi Subhadra from the Gundicha temple to the main Jagannath temple after the annual Rath Yatra. Key facts: event, Bahuda Yatra, Return Chariot Festival. Location, Puri, Odisha. Deities involved, Lord Jagannath, Lord Balbhadra and Devi Subhadra. Destination, Jagannath Temple from Gundicha Temple. Static GK: the Jagannath Temple in Puri is renowned for its annual Rath Yatra and is one of the 4 dhams in Hindu pilgrimage. APPSC recruitment controversy in Karnataka. Veterinary doctors have alleged a large-scale scam in the Karnataka Public Service Commission recruitment process for veterinary officer posts. Key facts: organization involved, Karnataka Public Service Commission. Department, Animal Husbandry and Fisheries Department. Posts in dispute, 400 veterinary officer posts. State, Karnataka. Static GK: Karnataka Public Service Commission is a constitutional body established under Article 315 of the Constitution of India to conduct civil services exams for the state. Constitutional references: Article 315 to 323 of Part 14 of the Constitution of India deals with public service commissions for the Union and states. Protest over NEET paper leak in Mumbai. Political parties demanded strict action following the alleged manhandling of a woman protester by a police officer during demonstrations in Mumbai. Background: the protests erupted nationwide following allegations of irregularities and paper leaks in the National Eligibility Cum Entrance Test examination. Key facts: location, Mumbai, Maharashtra. Incident: alleged manhandling of woman protester during National Eligibility Cum Entrance Test paper leak protest. Political parties involved, Congress and Nationalist Congress Party, Sharad Pawar. Delhi Police suspends leaves. Delhi Police suspended all routine leaves for its personnel to tackle impending law and order concerns. Key facts: organization, Delhi Police. Action: suspension of casual and earned leaves. Exception: only genuine emergency leaves allowed after verification. Static GK: Delhi Police functions directly under the Ministry of Home Affairs, Government of India. Supreme Court proposes special courts for Manipur violence. The Supreme Court of India proposed setting up special courts to ensure speedy trials and probes related to cases arising from ethnic violence in Manipur. Key facts: institution, Supreme Court of India. Action: proposed special courts for speedy justice. Directive: ensure victims receive copies of charge sheets through Legal Aid Council. Static GK: The Supreme Court of India is the highest judicial forum under the Constitution of India, established under Article 124. Constitutional references. Article 142 of the Constitution of India grants the Supreme Court pioneered jurisdiction to pass complete justice orders. Legal access for Manipur violence victims. The Supreme Court permitted legal aid counsel representing Manipur violence victims to approach High Court Chief Justices for charge sheet copies. Key facts: High Courts involved: Guwahati High Court and Manipur High Court. Beneficiaries: victims of Manipur violence via legal aid counsel. Objective: ensuring access to judicial documents and fair trial. Constitutional references. Article 39 of the Constitution of India provides for free legal aid and equal justice. Supreme Court directives on national eligibility cum entrance test overhaul. The Supreme Court directed the central government to resolve errors and sought progress reports on transparency and digital infrastructure for the National Testing Agency. Key facts: institution: Supreme Court of India. Exam in question: National Eligibility cum Entrance Test. Agency involved: National Testing Agency. Focus areas: transparency, digital infrastructure, and security enhancement. Ken-Betwa activist Amit Bhatnagar ends fast. Activist Amit Bhatnagar concluded his 18-day hunger strike after administration agreed to fresh surveys and joint inquiries into rehabilitation complaints. Background: the Ken-Betwa River Linking Project is India's first interstate river interlinking project designed to transfer surplus water from the Ken River to the Betwa River to irrigate the drought-prone Bundelkhand region. Key facts: activist Amit Bhatnagar. Duration of hunger strike: 18 days. Project involved: Ken-Betwa River Interlinking Project. Concession: administration agreed to fresh survey and joint inquiry. Static GK: the Ken-Betwa Link project passes through Madhya Pradesh and Uttar Pradesh, benefiting the Bundelkhand region. CJP government talks and anti-paper leak bill. The central government held the third round of talks with the CJP amid rising nationwide protests and cabinet clearance of a stringent anti-paper leak bill. Key facts: the Union Cabinet cleared a tougher anti-paper leak legislation to curb malpractice in public examinations. The Congress Party announced nationwide protests over the ongoing exam leakage controversies. Airport operators owning airlines conflict of interest. The managing director of Indigo flagged potential conflicts of interest regarding airport operators entering the airline business. Key facts: Indigo managing director stated there is no global precedent of airport operators owning airlines. The debate emerged amid reports of the Adani Group potentially entering the airline sector through regulatory changes. Assam flood situation. The flood toll in Assam rose to 47, with over 7.21 lakh people affected across multiple districts. Key facts: Assam Chief Minister Shri Himanta Biswa Sarma reported that 40 people remain missing. Floodwaters impacted 11 districts across the state of Assam. Static GK: Assam is bounded by Bhutan and Arunachal Pradesh to the north, Nagaland and Manipur to the east, Meghalaya, Tripura, Mizoram, and Bangladesh to the south, and West Bengal to the west. DRDO successfully tests long-range air defense missile system Kusha. Defense Research and Development Organization successfully conducted the maiden flight test of the long-range air defense system Kusha. Key facts: Union Defence Minister Shri Rajnath Singh congratulated the Defence Research and Development Organization on the successful test. The Kusha project is a major milestone in indigenous defence research and development for long-range interception capabilities. Static GK, Defense Research and Development Organization headquarters is located in New Delhi, established in 1958. Rajya Sabha adjourned over NEET paper leak. The upper house witnessed its fifth straight day of disruptions as the opposition protested over the national eligibility cum entrance test paper leak issue. Key facts: the Rajya Sabha faced continuous disruptions for 5 consecutive days. Opposition members raised slogans demanding accountability over the national eligibility cum entrance test examination irregularities. Constitutional references: Article 80 of the Constitution of India deals with the composition of the Council of States, Rajya Sabha. Telecom Data Localization Mandate. The Department of Telecommunications barred communication infrastructure providers from sharing data outside India. Key facts: the Department of Telecommunications issued a notification under the Authorization Framework for Infrastructure Providers. It is now mandatory to store entire telecommunication data strictly within the country. Sports Ministry grants NSF status to FMSCI. The Sports Ministry provisionally recognized the Federation of Motor Sports Clubs of India as a national sports federation to push for Formula One's return to India. Key facts: the Federation of Motor Sports Clubs of India received provisional national sports federation status. The move aims to improve coordination between the government and the motorsport body to bring Formula One back to India. Legacy of freedom fighters Chandrasekhar Azad and Lokmanya Tilak. Remembering the monumental contributions of freedom fighters Chandrasekhar Azad and Lokmanya Tilak in shaping India's struggle for independence. Background: Lokmanya Tilak popularized the slogan "Swaraj is my birthright and I shall have it" and used public festivals for nationalist mobilization, while Chandrasekhar Azad was a revolutionary leader associated with the Hindustan Republican Association. Key facts: Lokmanya Tilak founded 2 newspapers, Kesari in Marathi and Maharatta in English. Chandrasekhar Azad reorganized the Hindustan Republican Association into the Hindustan Socialist Republican Association in 1928. Azad made a vow never to be caught alive by the British police and martyred himself in Alfred Park, Allahabad in 1931. Indian rupee recovers against US dollar. The Indian rupee appreciated by 22 paise in early trade against the United States dollar. Key facts: the rupee traded at 96.51 against the United States dollar in early trade. It had previously closed 20 paise weaker at 96.73 against the United States dollar. India's first hydrogen train completes successful run on Jind-Sonipat route. India's pioneering hydrogen-powered train successfully completed its trial run on the Jind to Sonipat route, marking a green milestone. Background: the initiative is part of Indian Railways' mission to achieve net zero carbon emissions and promote sustainable alternative green energy transport. Key facts: it is India's first hydrogen-powered train. The successful test run was conducted on the Jind to Sonipat route. The zero-emission mechanism offers a sustainable transit option for daily commuters. Static GK, Indian Railways operates under the Ministry of Railways and is the 4th largest railway network in the world by size. United States imposes 10% tariff on Indian goods. The United States imposed a 10% tariff on Indian goods citing issues related to forced labor, prompting a review of trade policies. Background: India amended its foreign trade policy on 14 June to explicitly prohibit the import of goods produced using forced labor. Key facts: the United States imposed a 10% tariff on Indian goods. The rationale provided by the United States for the tariff is forced labor. India amended its foreign trade policy on 14 June to ban imports produced by forced labor. Constitutional references. Article 23 of the Constitution of India prohibits human trafficking and forced labor, begar. Moving on to news related to international. India and Israel complete second round of trade deal talks. India and Israel successfully wrapped up the second round of negotiations for a bilateral free trade agreement. Key facts: both nations identified complementarities across multiple economic sectors. The proposed free trade agreement aims to enhance bilateral trade and deepen economic integration. Talks focused on reducing market access barriers and boosting investments. Resignation of Bangladesh President Mohammad Shahabuddin. Bangladesh President Shri Mohammad Shahabuddin resigned citing health reasons, following which Speaker Hafizuddin Ahmad took charge as acting president. Key facts: name of outgoing president, Shri Mohammad Shahabuddin. Interim role assumed by Speaker Hafizuddin Ahmad as acting president. Context: resignation cited health reasons amidst political transitions. Static GK, capital of Bangladesh is Dhaka, currency is Bangladeshi Taka. UNESCO lists West Bank site and Lebanese castles. The United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization listed the West Bank town of Sebastia and Lebanese castles despite strong objections from Israel. Key facts: organization involved, UNESCO contested sites, Sebastia in the West Bank and specific Lebanese castles. Opposing nation, Israel. Static GK, UNESCO headquarters is located in Paris, France. Southern Europe battles severe wildfires amid extreme heat. Spain and France are grappling with massive wildfires driven by an intense heat wave across southern Europe. Key facts: Spain's worst wildfire burned around 32,000 hectares in Guadalajara. Casualties: 2 firefighters lost their lives in southwest France. Orbital data centers and space pollution. Companies have applied to the Federal Communications Commission to deploy satellite constellations known as orbital data centers for artificial intelligence computing in space. Key facts: regulatory body involved, Federal Communications Commission. Companies involved: SpaceX, StarCloud, Blue Origin, and Cowboy Space Corporation. Technology: orbital data centers for artificial intelligence infrastructure in space. Static GK, the Federal Communications Commission regulates interstate and international communications by radio, television, wire, satellite, and cable in the United States. Bahrain sounds sirens amid Iran conflict. Bahrain sounded sirens as Gulf tensions escalated following the United States completing its 13th night of strikes on Iran. Key facts: oil prices surged above $100 a barrel amid the geopolitical escalation in the Gulf region. The United States completed its 13th consecutive night of military strikes on Iran. United States reiterates stance on Iran nuclear weapons. The United States President stated that Tehran must never be allowed to acquire nuclear weapons, citing evil intentions amid rising tensions. Key facts: the United States continues its policy of maximum pressure against Iran's nuclear ambitions. Tehran's nuclear program remains a core security concern for Washington and its allies in West Asia. India and Romania aim to double bilateral trade. President SMT, Draupadi Murmu and Romanian President Nicolae Dan agreed to expand bilateral cooperation across multiple strategic sectors. Key facts: both nations set a target to double bilateral trade within 3 years. Key areas of cooperation include defense, artificial intelligence, renewable energy, and innovation. The discussions were held during high-level diplomatic exchanges between India and Romania. Ukrainian drones target St. Petersburg region. Leningrad region Governor Alexander Drostenko reported multiple Ukrainian drone attacks targeting St. Petersburg and warehouse infrastructure. Key facts: at least 50 Ukrainian drones targeted the St. Petersburg and Leningrad region. The attacks triggered a major fire at a warehouse belonging to the Wildberries retail giant. New Zealand criticizes United States tariffs. New Zealand Prime Minister condemned new United States tariffs as extremely disappointing, citing a lack of meaningful evidence. Key facts: New Zealand PM expressed disappointment over trade restrictions imposed by the United States. The United States investigation allegedly cited forced labor claims, which New Zealand officials disputed. United States military launches strikes on Iran amid shipping route clashes. The United States military carried out new strikes against Iran following escalating security clashes over vital maritime shipping routes. Key facts: explosions were reported along the strait in Qashm and Bandar Abbas, injuring 2 people. Strikes also affected areas to the northwest near Andimeshk, Omidyeh, and Firuzabad according to Iranian state media. Japan expresses regret over new United States tariffs. The Japanese government expressed regret after being included in the United States list of trading partners facing new import levies. Key facts: the United States imposed new tariffs ranging from 10% to 12.5%. Japan was officially included on the list of affected trading partners by Washington. The announcement was formally responded to by the Japanese government on a Friday. United States issues new double-digit tariffs on 60 countries. The United States administration issued new double-digit tariffs affecting 60 countries alongside announcements regarding regional diplomatic accords. Background: the Abraham Accords are a series of normalization agreements brokered by the United States between Israel and several Arab nations. Key facts: new double-digit tariffs were imposed on 60 countries. A new civil nuclear agreement was reached between the United States and Saudi Arabia. The nuclear deal requires Saudi Arabia to normalize relations with Israel via the Abraham Accords. This is all for now. Let us meet again in the next session of Current Affairs. Until then, test your knowledge by attempting quizzes. If our resources are useful to you and think may benefit your friends, well-wishers and neighborhood, share the links to them. And finally, don't forget to like and subscribe so that you won't miss latest updates.